Hello people, welcome to this week outlook. How are you guys doing? Hope people are having a great trading week. It's been a while I couldn't do my weekly outlook due to poor network in my environment and other stuff hindering me not to do the weekly outlook. Well, as you all know, if I have time for the weekly outlook and network is really very good, definitely I'll do the outlook. Like today, I want to do the weekly outlook for the setup we'll be anticipating on all the measures for next week with some of the indices and DXY. So let's get into the chart and start our analysis. At first, we're going to start from the weekly this time around. As you can see, that GBPUSD has been bearish for the whole year, but at September we had this huge rejection, which I always talked about on GBPUSD, that with this huge rejection we should be expecting some kind of up push to the upside, because this is a signal for showing that there are buyers that really come to push the market to the upside. So let me just clear the chart and make a fresh analysis on this pair. So as you can see here, we have been bearish at first on this pair GBPUSD. This was the last low that was formed on the week based on the weekly time frame, and we noticed that there was some kind of push to the upside by the buyers, which made the weekly start to turn bullish. A push made the weekly to be signifying some kind of bullish trend kicking in on the based on the weekly time frame perspective. As you can see, here is some kind of high that one should be really watching and skeptical about. And as you all see, that GBPUSD has already come to clear that high. So here is our sell side liquidity, and here is the buy side liquidity, which has already been stripped. And right now, as GBPUSD swept it, at first it swept it, then the next week, this was the last week that just passed by, GBPUSD also went up and bought above, and now we saw a massive rejection to the downside based on the weekly time frame perspective. And going to our daily time frame, you can see that GBPUSD has been bullish on the daily for quite some time. It has been making some bullish that we know, due to our weekly signifying this kind of bullishness kicking in on GBPUSD. We saw some kind of bullish order flow started to happen on the based on the daily time frame. As you all see, here is some kind of OB here. Here OB that was respected, and we made another high which broke some kind of structure to the upside. And as you all see, it's continued the bullish order flow based on the weekly time frame. As you all see, there is also an OB here. We kept making some kind of high. Another break of structure happened, which there is also a break of structure. So here, another break of structure happened here, which caused another high to be made, respecting the structures. And right now, we saw some massive push to the downside, clearing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Just this day cleared this whole 5 buying days. This is signifying something in the market. If we see some kind of bearish push happens like this at a key zone, because here is some kind of key zone that we were watching on our weekly, and at that zone we had some kind of massive push to the downside. Right now, as far as I am concerned, I will be anticipating here to be broken here. We can see some kind of break at this zone here, then definitely we should be anticipating some kind of if we can see here broke, like definitely if we can see here broken, then definitely we should be anticipating some kind of shorts to the downside, you know, something like this. maybe if you see here breaks impulsively, because some kind of break as liquidity graph, if we see something like this, we should be very skeptical, because sometimes market can just do something like this, then it continues going to the upside. But if we can see some kind of impulsive break to the downside, then we should be anticipating some kind of push, pullback, then a continuation to the downside based on this daily order flow. So right now, let's watch what will happen around this zone. Let me go to the 4-hour time frame to really see what's happening on this time frame. As you can see on our 4-hour time frame, at first we're massively pushing to the upside. Definitely on our 4-hour time frame, you can see there were a lot of grab of liquidity, like what I just explained just now, like something that used to happen mostly at all time. It happens in the market. If a trend is bullish, there is high chance of us seeing something like a bullish trend comes to the downside, sweep the low, which will be some kind of sell side, because there are a lot of sell stops around here. So immediately you sweep the low, we see some kind of bullishness kicking, because it didn't break impulsively. So right now, that is what's really happened. That's what happened here. If you guys can see here, here's some kind of double bottom, a liquidity grab, a sweep of the low, and now we saw some kind of massive bulls comes in the market, then came back to this lobby here, and now we saw some kind of bullishness start to kick in on this time frame, that is on the 4-hour time frame, and now it's continuing going bullish until around here. And as you can see here on the 4-hour time frame, here was some kind of valid OB at first when it was around here, but immediately, because here, so something like this, we'll have been waiting for something like this to happen. But for this to have been very valid on this time frame, we should have expected something like a push from this massive push. We are expecting some kind of a choppy move to around this zone, or some kind of move to around this zone, not something like this, not something like a push to the upside, a pullback, then another push which cleared this high here. So immediately I see something like that, then I'll be thinking two things. At first, I will not really consider this zone again, due to now something happened here again. Definitely this will be some kind of buy side liquidity that has been cleared around here. Then immediately we saw some kind of buy side liquidity, and it closes below here, which is also some kind of thing that I explained recently. But this is not really in a downtrend, but this is definitely an uptrend. But with me seeing this kind of close, then I should be really watching that zone. In fact, all highs and low, I usually watch them for traps and liquidity grab. So immediately you see something like this, it didn't really push down to this zone, so this is now invalidated. This zone is now invalidated, and now we should now be watching this zone to see if we might see some kind of liquidity grab again, because definitely we're in an uptrend, and then this happened, which came to the downside, and here's our relative equal lows here. So what we'll have been anticipating here, another scenario here will have been something like a push so around here, a grab of liquidity, and maybe a continuation to the upside, something like this. But immediately I start to see a candle closure of this kind of candle closure, then I know that this is now officially bearish on our 4-hour time frame. Down, then this now for something like this, a push to the downside, a pull back to this zone here, then a continuation to the downside. So we push to this zone here, and now as you can see, continuation to the downside based on our 4-hour time frame perspective. And overall, our 4-hour time frame is officially bearish. Then definitely if our 4-hour time frame is bearish, there is high chance of our 1 hour being bearish, and also our down to the lower intraday time frames, which are like 15 minutes and others, to be also bearish. As you can see, our 1 hour is also very bearish. As you can see here, I told you these are relative equal lows. You can see these wicks forming some kind of relative equal lows, or equal lows as you can call them. And as from that, you can see some kind of push which broke here, and now a pull back to around here, and now a continuation to the downside, as you can see. Right now here, based on our 1 hour time frame, yeah, so here are equal highs that are also formed already based on this time frame. So here are equal highs that have been formed, but I do not see the market has not really cleared those highs, but maybe it might just leave it to later clear it. But right now I can see a bearish 1 hour time frame, a bearish 4-hour time frame, and also a potential bearish daily time frame. So what we are watching in a daily is for this daily time frame to be officially bearish, not to be trapped in some kind of liquidity grabs on this zone here, because here is a critical zone that one should be really watching, because you can see some kind of liquidity grab to not really push down to be some kind of weak or a really mini push to the downside, then a continuation to the upside. And if we start seeing some kind of closure around here, then definitely here will be the next target to be cleared. Here will be the next target, because definitely we'll be making some kind of new highs based on that we were overall in a bullish trend based on daily, but majorly we are at a key zone. So let's see how the market goes. On our weekly, we are at a key zone. On our daily, we are at a key zone, and we are seeing some kind of real bearishness kicking in, and now we are waiting patiently to see if it really wants to turn bearish or a grab of liquidity. And if it grabs liquidity, then definitely the bearish trend has higher chance of the bullish trend, has higher chance of continuing to the upside. And if it's a really impulsive push to the downside around here, then definitely we might have some kind of a change in trend to the downside based on our daily time frame. And officially our 4-hour is already bearish, our 1 hour is bearish, and definitely the intraday time frames will mostly follow the 4-hour and the 1 hour time frames, which will also make them bearish over the long period of time. So let's see how the week goes. Now let's go to EURUSD. On our EURUSD, let's start from our weekly time frame. On our weekly time frame, you can also see that EURUSD started making some kind of bullish push to the upside. And as far as I'm concerned, EURUSD here was the last low based on the weekly time frame. And from there, we start to see some kind of push to the upside, which came to this a key zone around here, because here was the last low that was formed before, last high rather, that was formed before we made another low. So it came to here, we saw some kind of a huge rejection coming in, refilled all the way to the upside, coming after filling all the way to the upside, which shows some kind of strength already, but overall we're still bearish. It should be some kind of risky trade even if one wants to long it from around here based on the weekly. So here will be some kind of OB that came to be tested, and immediately some kind of huge rejection to the upside, and from then we have been going bullish. And here officially the weekly time frame was bullish, then it kept breaking this, clearing this buy side liquidity, then the bullish trend continues on the weekly. But right now, let's go to our daily. On our daily time frame, you can see that overall we saw, like what I just explained, came to a key zone around here, which was also a key zone in the daily. It came, we saw some kind of rejection to the downside, then we saw some kind of weeks rejection, which will start to signify some kind of bullishness kicking in. Then immediately we saw some kind of push to the upside. This should be some kind of structure on the 1 hour time frame, but it came pushed down, made another high, pushed down, pushed around here. I think this was a liquidity grab here. It made a massive push to the upside, then saw some kind of push to around here as well. Now as from then we start to see bullish order flow start kicking in on our daily time frame, and then EURUSD continues its bullishness right from there, and since then EURUSD has been making some kind of bullish push to the upside, maintaining the bullish order flow from the daily. And right now, as far as I'm concerned, EURUSD is still bullish based on our daily time frame, and our weekly time frame is also bullish. So I think now we are seeing some kind of contradiction, because on our GBPUSD, we definitely we're seeing some kind of bullishness kicking in on our weekly, but there was not really any structure to confirm that bullishness. But it was confirmed based on our daily order flow in the GBPUSD chart. But on our EURUSD chart, we were officially bullish based on structure views, and also on our daily time frame we're also bullish. And let's head to our 4-hour time frame to see what's really happening. On our 4-hour time frame, so on our 4-hour time frame, you can also see that, okay, as far as I'm concerned here on this time frame, 4-hour is not really that clear right now from my own perspective. But if I am to trade this time frame, I will just be watching to see what is really happening, because if we continue this bullishness based on our daily time frame, then definitely we should be anticipating here as our next place to be cleared. But if in any reason we start to break below here, still this is not really a clear structure. This is not really a clear structure. Before I start to change my mind on our daily time frame to be bearish, I need to see maybe here being cleared to the downside impulsively, then we might now see some kind of bearishness. But right now we are still bullish on our EURUSD, and here we should be anticipating some kind of change if we see some kind of confirmation here, maybe on a more lower time frame with like 1 hour. You can anticipate some kind of longs from here on our EURUSD. So that is that on EURUSD. On our 1 hour time frame, 1 hour time frame to me right now is bearish, because there's nothing really happening. The currency is bullish. You can see break of structures happening. So for us to really change totally on our 1 hour time frame, we just have to monitor what's really happening around here to see some kind of maybe push, break of structure, and a continuation to the upside, to see that, okay, to confirm the bullishness from the higher time frame, we have to see that, okay, those intraday time frame, which are also time frame for entry for swing traders, also turns bullish, so the market can flow together. Let's go to our next pair, which is AUDUSD. These are just some kind of trade that I just put in there just for testing scenario. I'm not really trading AUUSD intraday. I can get some kind of swing opportunity on the pair, but I don't trade AUDUSD intraday on an intraday basis. So let me clear the chart and make some kind of fresh analysis. So let me clear the chart. So as you can see here on our AUDUSD, here is some kind of low. Here is our sell side liquidity. Here is some kind of high, which I'll be anticipating to be cleared if in the future, but I don't really think it's going to clear it now because we are at a key zone right now. So as far as I'm concerned, here is some kind of key zone on our AUDUSD. So here is some kind of key zone here. Some people can mark this with some kind of zone. I don't know, but me, I know that this is a zone. I know that this is a zone. It's not just some kind of line. Here is a zone. But me putting this line here, I already know what I'm looking for. So here is some kind of zone. And AUDUSD went up to the upside. It started to slow down around this zone. And if you check this AUDUSD from an overall perspective, you can see that we have been flowing to the downside. Like AUDUSD has been bearish. AUDUSD has been bearish. Right now, we can see it at a key zone, which is some kind of level that one should be looking for opportunities to continue the bearishness based on the higher time frame perspective. And going to our daily time frame, let's see what's happening on our daily time frame. On our daily time frame, you can see that at first we started to have some kind of bullish order flow on our daily time frame. Started to have some kind of bullish order flow on our daily time frame. And right now, there was some kind of massive push to the upside around here, which also caused some kind of break of structure to the upside. And then we did not really pull back to around this zone because I will have been anticipating some kind of long from maybe around here to the upside, but AUDUSD rather continued going to the upside and made some kind of minor pullback. And right now we are seeing we started to see some kind of bullish continuation respecting each lows on AUDUSD. Right now, all I see is some kind of market that's really ready to maybe start doing some kind of push, sell off, or a pullback, huge pullback, as the case may be. So as you can see on this market, just this candle here, just this daily candle here, cancel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. Then you should know that something is about to happen in the market. It's either right now all I see is two scenarios in this kind of price action, us being at a key zone, key level, and also with markets making some kind of bearish push to the downside, canceling a whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days to the downside. Right now, all we should be anticipating bearish, be some kind of around here. It grabs liquidity and continues to the upside, or if it does that, but definitely we're in some kind of bullish trend. So right now I'm watching this level for something like this, maybe some kind of liquidity grab, or based on we are at a key level, I think I would like something like this more. A push, bearish push to the downside, a pullback to around, I don't know, then maybe a continuation to the downside. Here are some kind of two scenarios I'll be anticipating on this pair. But since we are at the key zone, I would like the second which stays to the downside, a pullback, then a continuation to the downside on this at this level. So that is what I'm anticipating on this pair. So let's go to our next pair, which is NZDUSD. Now NZDUSD, starting from our weekly time frame, you can see that NZDUSD, there is some kind of sell side liquidity, and here is some kind of buy side liquidity, and which has already been cleared. Here is some kind of buy side liquidity which has already been cleared, and overall I don't really see anything happen apart from that, those two. Right now let's go to our daily time frame to see what is really happening in the markets. So here is some kind of key level on our weekly time frame, and overall, as you can see, here are bullish order flow. Here is some kind of bullish order flow that has been happening on our NZDUSD daily time frame. It has been respecting the levels, kept making some kind of bullish order flow to the upside, kept respecting the levels, and right now let's see what is really happening at our key level. So here we saw some kind of massive push to the downside, which cleared 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, which cleared 6 days. We are at the key zone. So going to our 4-hour time frame. On our 4-hour time frame, you can see that our 4-hour time frame is now officially bearish, based on us breaking some kind of major level impulsively, and after breaking this major level impulsively, now we are already seeing some kind of pullback. So maybe we might see some kind of push toward here, maybe then maybe a continuation to the downside. I don't know, but that's what I'm anticipating right now, based on we are at a major level on our weekly. We are seeing some kind of bearishness kicking in on our daily, and our 4-hour is already officially bearish. And if we start making those, definitely we'll be clearing more lows. There will be some kind of targets that will be cleared. Here, sell stop, people that have been buying, that are training stops and others, their sell stops will be around here, and will be attacking all these lows to the downside. And if we continue the bearishness, here will be next target. here will be the next target from our weekly time frame perspective, which is this time frame. We continue this bearish trend, but right now, for me to be officially bearish on our daily, we have to see some kind of break of this zone, that is this structure, impulsively, and maybe a minor pullback or a major pullback. I don't know. We'll see pullback when it's happening. So kind of bearish impulsive break to the downside, medium pullback, and a continuation to the downside. Or here is also a key zone, because here is our daily time frame, and if we see some kind of maybe a mini rejection here, you might see a continuation to the upside. But I will be favoring this push to the downside, then continuation to the downside more. But anything can happen in the markets, so we have to just flow and trade what we see that is happening in the markets. You have to be present with what the market is trying to showcase to us. So now let's go to our next pair, which is USDCAD. Now USDCAD, let me clear the chart and make a fresh analysis on this pair. On our weekly time frame, we can see that, I always say that our USDCAD is still overall bullish from our weekly time frame perspective, and based on our weekly time frame, we are still seeing some kind of bullish order flow happening on our weekly time frame, having some kind of break of structures to the upside. And right now we saw a very major pullback to the downside, and if we continue to the upside, then here would be some kind of our next target. And right now we are at some kind of, we came to some kind of major zone, and we are seeing some kind of bullishness kicking in on our weekly. Going to our daily time frame, we can see that okay, on our daily time frame, there was some kind of hood OB share, and at this zone we started to make some kind of a minor internal break of structure, and from there we continue the break of structure. Here was some kind of like a repeat candidate to all this weak rejection, but definitely because we are overall still bullish from our daily order flow is still bullish, we continue the bullishness from the daily, still going higher. And right now we're already clearing this high. Definitely if we clear it impulsively, we have some kind of major push to the upside, then definitely we will be anticipating some kind of push to the upside, and maybe a minor pullback, then maybe a continuation, something like this. So that is that on USDCAD. Let me go to the 4 hour to see what's this really happening here. On our 4 hour time frame, you can see that, as you can see, based on we were officially bullish from our higher time frame, this was not an impulsive break, in the sense that immediately we broke lower, we started to see some kind of rejection to the upside, rejection, and at first it came to this zone. This will be some kind of zone here. We saw some massive rejection. Immediately we start climbing higher, then we will have some kind of minor internal structure break on our 4 hour time frame. Then it's pushed higher, made some kind of minor pullback to around this zone, which was broken. Now we're seeing some kind of massive push to the upside, which is already clearing all these relative equal highs here. And as far as I'm concerned, I see a bullish 4-hour time frame. So right now I'm anticipating more bullishness to kick in on our USDCAD. So that is that for this week on USDCAD. Let's go to our next pair. Just make this clearer. So which is our USDJPY. Now let's start from the weekly. On our weekly time frame, you can see that overall we're bullish on a bullish trend throughout this year. And if you notice, on this bullish trend, we're making some kind of highs, to the we saw some kind of major pullbacks around the zone. Saw some kind of rejection from around here, and now we saw another major pullback. And now we might see some kind of push around here, a contribution to the downside. Let me just clear it out and make fresh analysis. So on our USDJPY, you can see here some kind of key zone that you should be watching. And as far as I'm concerned, there will also be some kind of zone that you should be watching. And here will be some kind of sell side liquidity, and here will be some kind of buy side liquidity, and also here will be some kind of OB. As far as I'm concerned, here is some kind of OB, because there's nothing really there's not really any structure apart from here, and from here make some kind of OB breakout structure. And going to our daily time frame, on our daily time frame, you can see that on our daily we start to turn bearish. We start turning bearish, even though the structure isn't really that clear. Started to turn bearish. Internal structure break, and then from there continue making some kind of bearish push to the downside. And right now we are seeing some kind of range happening already here. So as far as I'm concerned, we are still overall bearish from our daily time frame, even though we are at a key zone, which is an OB from our weekly time frame. Going to our 4-hour time frame, let's see what is happening here. On our 4-hour time frame, you can also see that there's not anything really happening. We're just grabbing liquidity up and down on the ranging markets. Here, as you can see, grabbing liquidity to the up, grabbing liquidity to the down. This was all it did throughout, I think, last week markets. We're just grabbing liquidity to the upside, grabbing liquidity, clearing the typical highs. And right now, as far as I'm concerned, I will wait for what this market wants to do. I need to see a break from this overall range that is starting to occur, and I'm anticipating more, maybe because we are at a key zone. I will be very, very skeptical with this, what is happening here. And if I see bullish opportunity, as far as I'm concerned, I will enter the market. And if I see a bearish continuation breaking here impulsively, and if we start to break here impulsively, I need to see here to start getting clear. Now I need to see something like this, a real break to the downside, and I would like it not to clear this overall sell side liquidity, then something like this, and then maybe a continuation to the downside. So here is what I'm anticipating. So let's see what the market presents to us on our next week markets. Let's go to our next pair, which is USDCHF. So I'm clearing this chart here. On our USDCHF, you can see that overall this market has been ranging. Even though we saw some kind of bullish breakouts, it's entered the range again. So I'll definitely avoid this kind of markets as so as someone trying to catch some kind of long-term trade on these pairs. I'll avoid this kind of market. As you can see here, it's grab liquidity to the upside. So it also grab liquidity. I don't know if it's grabbing liquidity right now or is trying to change factor, but right now, as what I'm still saying, we are still in decision. We should be watching what is really happening at this zone here. We should be watching what is really happening here to know, are we really going to the downside, or we are just making some kind of grab of liquidity. And as you all know, here it's some kind of major level as far as I'm concerned. So we should be very, very careful with what is happening in this kind of market environment or market condition overall. So right now, let's go to our daily. But on our daily time frame, I can see some kind of bearishness already happening on this time frame here. So let me clear this. So we are already bearish on our daily. We are still bearish, and it cleared this low here, and it's clearer here. Cleared it, wanted to have some strength, came down, now continued lower. So as far as I'm concerned, we might see some kind of maybe continuation to the downside from here. So I don't know, a 4-hour time frame. Here's some kind of key level, and we had some kind of range around here. It made some kind of weak rejection here, clearing the low, and immediately we saw some kind of pull back, push to the upside. And right now, we made something like this, a push, clearing this low, and not really going impulsively. Now we are having some kind of something like this, and we are already moving up. So if I am to trade this kind of market, because it's really showing me that okay, we are somehow bullish, we are bullish, in the sense that now I can see this is a break of structure. I must see some kind of confirmation entry from around here, maybe from a 1 hour time frame. You know, sometimes the 4 hour, will not really show that entry because of the time frame. So we have to go to maybe more lower time frames like 1 hour to see what is really happening around here. So we see some kind of change confirmation entry, then we can anticipate some kind of shots from around this zone. Based on our daily is still bearish, then our 4 hour is also, it's already turning bullish. But if we see some kind of entry at that zone, we can anticipate some kind of shot from that zone. So and that is that on our USDCHF. Now let's go to our next pair, which is our indices, starting with US 500. Now on our weekly time frame, you can see that okay, this was the last low that was formed, and here is our last high, as we'll be watching very well. Here's also some kind of high. One should also be watching this zone here. So here was some kind of liquidity graph. So let me just mark it some kind of, yeah. So all right, now here is our buy side liquidity. Here's our sell side liquidity. And overall, immediately you see this is not a break of structure. Even though we are still overall bearish, this is some kind of sweep of a low and immediately going to the upside. This is tricky. So at each low, one should be very skeptical about what is really happening. So here one should have been watching that okay, what is happening here. Immediately we start breaking this low, and it turns out to be some kind of grab of liquidity, clearing all the people that already has believed that okay, the trend is going bearish, and immediately clear them. So some kind of, see, clear this low, so some kind of bullishness just kicking, and from there we start making some kind of bullish order flow, still clearing all this sell side liquidity, clearing there, continuing higher, and right now we can see we saw some kind of relative equal lows here, and before we start making this bearish structure break, it's cleared here. Now what I see in this kind of market is something like this. Now I would call this an impulsive break, because this is a two bearish candle that closed very bearish candle that closed very bearish, which is an engulfing candle. Now right now I might be waiting for something like this, then to continue this bearishness to the downside. And if we start heading to the downside, definitely here will be some kind of target that we should be anticipating to be cleared here, and that is that on S&P 500. So let's go to our next pair, which is the NASDAQ. On our NASDAQ, let me clear the chart and make a fresh analysis here. As you can see here, I'll say this is our major level on our weekly, and here is our major level on our weekly. If we in any chance start to have some kind of bullishness kicking in, we'll be watching here, and if it reaches here, we'll be anticipating some kind of major reaction to start happening around here. And if we continue our bearish trend, which has been happening and which might continue to happen, then here is the next target that we should be anticipating to be cleared. But as you can also see, there was some kind of a grab of Will I say this is a grab of liquidity? So it's cleared this zone here, and immediately we saw some major push to the upside. So going to our daily time frame. On our daily time frame, you can see that immediately we first clear this low, it came to clear this here. Then we swept this lower. Now we saw another massive push and rejection. There's some kind of weak rejection. Now we saw a massive push to the upside, which start to be some kind of order flow. But this was not really a clear break of structure on our daily time frame, but this will be some kind of break of structure on our forward time frames. Here it also came here to clear this here. Something happened here, clear this, wanted to go up, it couldn't make the next high. It formed some kind of relative equal highs here, which was also cleared, but now these are relative equal highs. And right now came here to clear all this low again. This and this is, I would say this is some kind of range overall. So this kind of markets, one should be very careful with it. Markets start grabbing liquidity ups and down when the market enters a range. So, and as you can see here, here was equal highs that was cleared, and immediately we cleared those equal highs. Here was also relative equal lows. Interesting. Which now made a break of structure. And right now I am anticipating some kind of maybe I'm anticipating some kind of something like this. So let's see what happens next week. Let me just put this. Sorry, strip of a high. So right now, all I see is some kind of bearish daily, bearish weekly. Let me check what's happening. Bearish 4 hour. So we are bearish. We are bearish. So let's see what happens next week on these markets. Let me go to our DXY. Clearing the charts. Starting from our weekly. On our DXY, you can see throughout this year we have been bullish, as you all know. And here is our key zone based on our bullish trend that has been happening. And here is some kind of push to the upside, pullback, push, a minor pullback, which will have been very visible on our forward time frame. Then another push to the upside, which made this an OB. It came to test this OB here. It went up again, which made this overall a key zone. It came to test here, made some major push to the upside. And right now we saw some massive push to the downside. First we saw a massive weak rejection here. It starts having massive push to the downside. But with this candle clearing a lot of candles, and now we are now heading to the downside. Well, we are at a key zone right now because we just cleared some kind of major level here. So as far as I am concerned, here will be a place I should be watching to see what is really happening around here. Is this a liquidity grab, or are we really going to the downside? And right now it's already looking like a liquidity grab based on what is happening right now. And if that is really the case, with that kind of huge rejection happening there, then here is some kind of, but overall our daily is still bearish. But if that turns out to be a liquidity grab, then we might see some kind of a push to the upside, then a continuation. We'll be expecting something like this. Definitely an impulsive push to the upside. But if this didn't really turn out to be a liquidity grab, then definitely we'll continue our bearishness. Continue the bearishness. And if we continue going bearish, here will be the next target that one should be anticipating, to be clear. Well, as far as I'm concerned, I think I'll be very skeptical with this zone, because we are at a key zone, clearing some kind of key level, already having some kind of weak rejection on our weekly. So we should be very careful with this zone here. So that is that for that on DXY. So I hope you people have a nice trading week. Hope you guys have a profitable trading week. Stay disciplined, follow your risk management, follow your plan, and also trade what you see. I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. I'm gonna see you people next week. Enjoy your day, guys, and also have a profitable trading week.